Joanne Burdian. I'm the sector commander at Coast Guard Sector Miami, Florida. It's been a challenging day of operations, and first I really want to again express my condolences to the friends, family members, and loved ones of anyone who may be missing at sea in this particular case. In the last 24 hours, we've continued to search the northern Florida Straits, an area that spans about the square mileage about as large as the state of Massachusetts. In the northern Florida Straits, up to as far north as Port Canaveral, Florida. We've used 3 ships, 2 other surface assets, and 8 aircraft of a combined force of active duty Coast Guard, auxiliary, and Navy fleet. We have found 4 deceased bodies in the last 24 hours, bringing the total to 5 deceased bodies we've recovered inside our search area. To the best of our knowledge, these individuals at this point have been in the water since Saturday evening. The victims in this case have been in the water since Saturday evening based on the best information we have. And unfortunately, we've come to the most difficult time in any search and rescue case, and that is the point at which we decide when to cease actively searching. I have made the very difficult decision, balancing everything we know about on-scene weather conditions, the number of people who went in the water, how confident we are in our search area, and the effort we've put forth, that if we do not receive additional information today that can refine our search or direct us toward additional survivors, that at sunset this evening we will suspend actively searching. Now, that does not mean the Coast Guard is closing this case. What that means is we won't be dedicating assets specifically to this search, but we will, as we always do, remain a robust on-the-water presence alongside our federal, state, and county and municipal partners who work together as a team to preserve life, safety, and security in the maritime approaches to the southeast U.S. So again, I really just want to express my deepest condolences for anyone who may be grieving a loss or feared loss of a loved one in this particular case. At this point, we are continuing to search, but again, if we don't receive additional specific information to help redirect our search, we'll suspend that active searching and turn the remaining effort, as they already are, over to Homeland Security investigations for their portion of this particular incident. Thank you.
My name is Tony Salisbury. I'm the Special Agent in charge of Homeland Security Investigations here in Miami, Florida. I'm going to have a couple brief statements about HSI's role and ongoing activities in this investigation. On Tuesday, January 25th, the United States Coast Guard contacted Homeland Security Investigations to advise that they had initiated a search and rescue operation on a suspected smuggling venture involving the loss of life. HSI immediately responded and opened a parallel criminal investigation while the search and rescue mission was ongoing. As of right now, this is still an ongoing investigation being pursued by Homeland Security Investigation and its federal, state, local, and foreign partners. The goal of this investigation is to identify, arrest, and prosecute any criminal or criminal organization that organized, facilitated, or profited from this doomed venture. Currently, Homeland Security Investigations is asking anyone with information or anyone who believes they had a family member on board this vessel to contact the HSI tip line at 866-347-2423. Again, the HSI tip line, 866-347-2423. So please help us bring criminals who prey and victimize the vulnerable migrant community to justice. We don't want anybody doing this again, any more migrants. This is dangerous stuff. So please call into the tip line if anybody has any information. Thank you.
raise your hand. Please state your name and your outlet. You will get one question and one follow-up. If you are directing your question to a specific person, Captain Meridian or the Special Agent in charge Salisbury, please say who you are asking the question to. If it's just a general question, we'll decide who can best answer it for you. Okay, who's first? Sir.
David Goodyear, Miami Herald. Do we know the nationalities of the migrants on the boat?
Honestly, our focus has really been on finding and rescue or recovering anyone who's been in the water, and the Coast Guard hasn't done any assessment of their nationality. I would defer to my partner, Special Agent Salisbury, for anything you might want to add there, but that's just not been the Coast Guard's focus.
So as I said, this is an ongoing investigative matter, so that's a lot of what we're still trying to piece together on this, so we're not going to comment on it at this time. Thank you.
David, do you have a follow-up?
No.
Okay. Ma'am?
Yes, is there anything about the survivor, what he's saying, the report that he said that his sister was also missing among the group, and has he said, or can you tell us what his nationality is, even if we don't know the group?
So again, it's still an ongoing investigative matter. We have spoken to the survivor. We will continue to speak to the survivor, but I'm not going to get into the details of what he's been communicating to us. So
People are dead as of now. I mean, is that what you guys are believing?
The decision to suspend really is a very, very complicated one. It is our belief that it's just no longer, if by the end of daylight hours today, we have saturated the area over and over and over again. We've had good visibility. The weather is somewhat deteriorating. And we know we're searching in the right area. We've overflown the vessel a number of times and have found additional deceased persons. It does mean that we don't think it's likely that anyone else has survived. And again, that's why we say we're suspending and not closing. That's based on the best information we have right now. And I do want to take a moment to acknowledge and really thank the tremendous work of not just our interagency partners, but Coast Guard crews, again, from those 3 ships and multiple air stations, the Navy and the folks here ashore who are helping coordinate those efforts. They're really wringing out every possible resource to determine whether or not there's anywhere else we could search for survivors. And at this point, again, in the absence of additional information, that fortunate answer is no ma'am.
Danielle, do you have a follow-up? Actually, sorry.
My next question would be for you, sir. The survivor, I know I think he's in custody right now.
I'm sorry, I missed the question.
The survivor, I know he's in custody right now. How will that work? Will he stay here? Will he have to leave?
So again, HSI is conducting a criminal investigation, so our interest is obviously what he has to say about what happened to him. Viewing him as a victim right now, so HSI conducts all the criminal investigative matters. That's to be determined right now.
All right, I would just like to reiterate, can you please state your name and what outlet you're at for your questions? Next question. All right, if no more questions, the captain of the Special Agent in charge are going to go back to get business done, and Hansel Pintos will come up for the Spanish portion of our press conference.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Hansel Pinto, portavoz de la Guardia Costera del Séptimo Distrito, aquí en Miami. Primero que todo queremos extender nuestras condolencias y nuestro sentido pésame a las familias y seres queridos de las personas que se encuentran en alta mar y aquellos que están sufriendo por las circunstancias que están ocurriendo en este momento. En este momento la Guardia Costera continúa el operativo de búsqueda y rescate y lo ha hecho a lo largo de la noche y ha estado en pie desde que lo anunciamos la primera vez hace unos días. Sin embargo, como acaba de informar la capitán Bergen, el operativo de búsqueda y rescate será suspendido en las horas del atardecer si no hay información que refine o que ayude a modificar el área de búsqueda para rescatar cualquier persona en el agua. Han saturado el área en el que han buscado es más o menos del tamaño del estado de New Jersey. Han usado 3 buques de la Guardia Costera, 2 botes de la Guardia Costera, uno de la Armada Americana, del US Navy, y 6 aviones. Es una misión que nosotros tomamos muy en serio. La Guardia Costera continuará buscando y les agradecemos a ustedes por atender acá. Los dejo con el señor Néstor Iglesias.
Buenas tardes, yo soy Néstor Iglesias, yo soy el vocero del Departamento de Investigaciones de Seguridad Nacional. Nosotros el martes en la noche recibimos el reporte de nuestros compañeros de la Guardia Costera para dejarnos saber del naufragio de este bote. Inmediatamente nosotros lanzamos una investigación de contrabando de humanos que aún continúa. Los agentes nuestros están trabajando muy de cerca a su activo. Yo sé que hay muchas preguntas sobre el bienestar de las personas que están desaparecidas. Yo sé que hay muchas preguntas sobre la persona que sobrevivió. Nosotros lamentablemente no podemos confirmar ni el nombre ni la nacionalidad del individuo. Obviamente la Guardia Costera ha divulgado los números de las personas que han fallecido y el Departamento de Investigaciones de Seguridad Nacional obviamente pasa sus condolencias a los familiares de las víctimas. Nuestro trabajo en este momento es tratar de identificar a aquellos que son responsables, cuyos hayan sido personas individuales, grupos o cualquier persona que haya participado en este incidente, para traerlos frente a la justicia y que sea juzgado, porque simplemente la pérdida de vida no es algo que se puede tolerar. La investigación continuará, continuamos nuestro enfoque en la organización que es responsable por este incidente. Muchas gracias.
Néstor, pregunta, por favor. De acuerdo al perfil, sabemos que no puede hablar del caso, pero ¿qué comunidades o qué ruta, o si ha habido el Departamento de Homeland Security ha tenido alguna detección, han detectado algún tráfico parecido o similar?
Este tiempo de la si es el clima, cómo están las condiciones del mar, cómo están las condiciones del aire. Obviamente es cuando estos contrabandistas toman ventaja y ellos simplemente miran a las personas que están trayendo como carga. Ellos no le ponen el precio a una vida. Ellos no aprecian, muchas veces no tienen el equipo de seguridad necesario en una embarcación. Si pasa un incidente como
Okay, guys, hold on. I am still running the show. So hold on. If you have questions for Mr. Nestor or Mr. Kempy, yes, hold on. Please state your name and what outlet you're with so we can keep track of things. Thank you.
Señor Iglesias.
Señor Iglesias, en este caso de investigación, ¿qué cargos puede enfrentar una persona y qué pena en caso de ser hallado culpable?
Bueno, mirando, o sea, todo dependiendo lo que dé el caso, los cargos pueden ser tan severos como contrabando de humanos donde causó muerte. Es obviamente una pena muy, muy seria y eso es una posibilidad, pero estamos en la parte iniciativa de la investigación y todavía falta muchas cosas que cubrir antes de llegar a ese punto.
José Fernández de Movimiento
Hold on, hold on, hold on. Ma'am, who's your question for?
Sabemos por la propia madre del sobreviviente colombiano. Nos llama la atención de que en esta ruta puedan haber más colombianos.
¿Quién puede ver qué? Oh.
¿Cuán frecuente o cuán común ustedes están viendo que más personas de origen hispano se pueden sumar a estos operativos de contrabando?
La realidad es cuando estamos hablando de contrabando de humanos no existe una nacionalidad solamente, son hispanos, son personas de Sudamérica, son personas de Asia, son personas de a través del mundo entero. Puede haber hispanos, claro que sí, pero no es fuera de lo común ver varias nacionalidades en un embarcamiento.
Sir, did you have a question?
No, I was just telling him
To look forward because he's getting my ugly side.
Yes, sir.
La pregunta para el señor Pinto es en relación a cuando hablan de suspender la búsqueda activa.
Patrullando el área, usando sus activos como normalmente lo hace y patrullando con las agencias federales que también mantienen presencia en el área y obviamente manteniendo cuidado y presencia de mente de que puede haber algo relacionado con la búsqueda que acaba de ocurrir. Pero la presencia de la Guardia Costera continúa ahí en el estrecho de la Florida.
Sir, do you have a follow-up?
No.
Okay. You got your follow-up.
Ok. Pinto, de acuerdo al patrón de búsqueda que se ha realizado en la localización de los 4 cadáveres adicionales, ¿seguían una ruta, estaban cerca, estaban distribuidos, la corriente se los lleva para entender un poco más o menos cómo ha sido la movilización de estos?
Sí, bueno, los detalles así tan específicos, lo que te puedo decir es, hay un área de búsqueda que ellos trazan de acuerdo con muchas variables, tienen que ver con las corrientes del mar, con la marea, variables climáticas, y de acuerdo a eso buscan en cierta área. Ahora, el área en el que han buscado es del tamaño de New Jersey, como lo mencioné, y ya saturaron esa área. No tengo la información en este momento para ti específicamente de dónde encontraron los cuerpos.
Yes, sir.
Una de las cosas que nosotros en el Departamento de Investigaciones de Seguridad Nacional que conozca a alguien, que conozca algo, por favor llame a nuestra línea de información que es el 866-347-2423. 866-347-2423 para cualquier tipo de información.
Thank you, everyone. We will be putting out any more updates for the case on Twitter